What's up guys, I'm Chris Doughty, aka Doughtinator. Welcome back to the channel. Don't worry, the tuning videos will continue, but they just take a bit longer to make each time. But for now, in this video, we're going to drive some of the most undrivable cars in Gran Turismo 7 for the Daily Race B qualifying session. And on screen right now, we've got the Group 3 Citroen, and this is my third most undrivable car in Gran Turismo 7. Look at here, the oversteer coming through some of the corners. The lift off oversteer is absolutely insane. So this is going to put it third on my list of worst cars for Daily Race B. In at number 2 for undrivable cars for Daily Race B is the Audi R8, and I've not even started my qualifying lap. I just lost the car at about 50 miles an hour in a hairpin. Absolutely shocking. And as you can see from these TV camera replays, that the rear of the car is just so loose when you're on turn-in mid-corner. It just wants to over-rotate all the time. Deep Forest Raceway really amplifies this trait. As you can see, flowing through these corners here, it just wants to lose the rear end nearly all the time. It's so difficult to drive. At the end of this video, we will go through a good lap in the Peugeot RCZ to show the complete differences between all of these cars. But for sure, this Audi R8 is a real handful to drive. Now, I actually think it was a lot better than I thought it would be. There is a number 1 on this list, and it's not the Audi R8. But for me, the Audi R8, I probably could get some good laps out of it, but it's just so edgy to drive. Let me know what you think of that in the comments below. Have you driven the Audi R8 around Deep Forest Raceway? I know it's a circuit experience track, so I think some of you may have done that. I'm always interested to know your thoughts and feedback in the comments below. Now, I was able to get a complete good lap out of this Audi R8, and the best I could achieve is a 1 minute 28.3. Optimum lap time is in the 1 minute 27, so the potential is there. But my winner for the most undrivable cars at Deep Forest Raceway is the Ferrari 458. One of my favourite cars of all time in real life, and when the tuning is enabled, it was fantastic at Daytona. But in the BOP fixed setups, the car is absolutely shocking to drive. And you can just see right now, guys, the rear is so loose. The aero balance is wrong. The diff is wrong. The weight placement is probably wrong as well, and it's such a handful. I'm going to call this the Ferrari challenge. Go to Deep Forest Raceway in the Ferrari 458 GR3 car and let me know what you can do with the car, because it's very difficult to drive. It's a real handful. The over rotation on corner entry, mid corner, all of that stuff, it is so difficult to drive. And in my last video, when I'm moaning about the balance of performance, the BOP, it's not necessarily to do with how similar each cars are for their lap times and what they can achieve. I always understand it's going to be impossible to exactly balance the lap times that cars can achieve. My issue is the standard setup. The setup for this Ferrari, it is undrivable. I cannot really begin to get across how difficult it is to drive. I love the car. I really want to use the car more and more, but it's actually impossible. I did manage to put together one lap that was at least representative, and it's a 1 minute 28.9, so a long way off the pace in the Ferrari. Switching to the Peugeot RCZ, the Meta car, after not too long really, I was at the 1 minute 27.0 region, and I felt I could go faster. And right now we're on a better lap time while we're queuing up for a Daily Race B, and we're up, but we got a random. It just wouldn't let me finish the lap. I got an error message during the matchmaking and I couldn't even finish my lap. So I tried again in the regular time trial mode, and here is my best lap and some advice for Deep Forest Raceway. The first braking point is the start of the curb. On the brakes down to second gear, you can, with the Peugeot RCZ, you can float the car in. There's an optimum amount of braking force required as you're turning in the car, and it really gets the car to rotate nicely. Wide entry through here, cutting to get wide entries as much as you can. The stability in this RCZ is insane. It's like driving a completely different game. It's like someone's given me different tyres. It's crazy. The ghost ahead is Quentin, I believe. And yeah, the grip in this RCZ is insane. It does turn in nicely. You can get on the gas really early. Braking on the transition from tarmac there is the right braking point for that point there. And on the gas exit to this corner here is very important, because you carry all of your exit speed all the way down this long straight. The braking reference for this next big braking zone is just as the wall jinks away from the side of the track. So just here, just at the 100 board, I think that was. It was actually just after the 150 board. So as the wall separates from the track. Important for that corner is to get a wide entry and a tight exit. It allows you to carry good speed for the long drag to the start finish line. In the Peugeot RCZ, if you're on a good lap, leave it in 5th gear, rev it out. It will not limit out by the time you get to the line. And we're going to put a 1 minute 26.6. That is significantly different from the other cars I've tried to drive. Now, granted, I did put a few more laps in with this RCZ, but it's night and day difference. It's like driving a completely different game, driving the RCZ compared to some of the other mid-engine rear-wheel drive cars in Gran Turismo 7. So what do we know now after watching some of these cars around the track? Well, for sure, the default setups on a lot of the mid-engine rear-wheel drive cars are completely off in Gran Turismo 7. So far, the Citroen, the Audi R8, the Ferrari 458, I know the Lamborghini Huracan is also an absolute bitch to drive. Let me know in the comments below which other cars you're finding really difficult to drive on the default setups in GT7. If you have enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We'll be back with more tuning videos. Tuning. Since someone pointed that out, I can't stop thinking about tuning. But it's all good. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. If you have enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. On screen right now will be a link to a video which you may find interesting, and we'll catch you in the next one.